Hello friends, this is Anand Pai from Academy in Pursuit of Engineering Excellence. This is a topic which I wanted to do a lot of times. Is it a gloomy situation for mechanical engineers? We are seeing continuously that the number of admissions for mechanical engineering is reducing, and students who are graduating as mechanical engineers are not getting their job. Why is that the situation? Is it that gloomy? Or is the situation better and we are not understanding the situation? Let us understand these situations very nicely. Let us try to understand how this works and what is the reasons for this and what is the scope for future. Okay. Now let us see one by one. Okay. First of all, let us see what is the number of engineers graduating initially. Okay. So if you consider the AICT website, I went and I saw the number of engineers graduating altogether is around 7,37,377, which is half the intake. That means the intake is around 13,29,339, but more than 45% of the seats are vacant and only 55.4% of the total allocated seats are filled in engineering colleges. Okay. So now out of this 7,37,377 people, this is the data of 2019-20. Okay. 2021 it might have further reduced. Okay. So now this particular, in this number 7,37,377, the number of mechanical engineers who are enrolled into the course may be around 20%. This is a conservative estimate because nowadays the number of mechanical engineers who are getting admitted has reduced considerably. So now with the number of intakes, I am taking this a very conservative approach. If you take the actual one, it might be around 10%. Okay, might be 10 to 20%. Anywhere it will vary. Okay, so I am taking the maximum number here. Maybe 20% of these seats are mechanical engineering. So in that sense, around 1,47,475, 1,47,475 mechanical engineering are graduating every year. Correct? Out of this 1,47,475 mechanical engineers who are graduating, I will tell you around half of that would be more than 60%. That is 70,000 mechanical engineers will be first class mechanical engineers. So this is the first case. So what is the supply? Supply is only 70,000 and odd. The other people who have lesser marks are forced to do other jobs, like they can go for business and other things. Okay, but I am talking now about how a mechanical engineer who studies well, scores well, has an aptitude, is there a scope reducing for them? Because if you're not good at studies, if you don't do well in your engineering, then you have to see other avenues. You should not continue there. Okay, I've seen number of my students who were not good in mechanical engineering or in engineering itself. In between they left to other careers. Maybe they went for music, they went for other things, okay, which they liked a lot. Okay, so I'm telling about the people, about the mechanical engineers are good enough. Okay, that means they have that aptitude. Okay, so 70,000 are the people who have first class degree, who are passing out every year in mechanical engineering. Okay, now what is the demand? This is the supply. Okay, this is the supply. Now where is the demand? We will see. Okay, if you consider the demand, now when I say demand, I will consider only the high paying jobs, not the lower paying jobs. Okay, the jobs which pay you at least say 50,000 rupees per month or 40 to 50,000 rupees per month. That is a range of pay which is considered to be good, right? 40 to 50k pay range. In this pay range, let us see how many mechanical engineering jobs may be there all over India. Okay, so now to see this, first of all, let us take what are the best jobs. The best jobs may be ESE, in Indian Engineering Service Exam, that is IES jobs, right? Indian Engineering Service jobs. Now there is one thing, Then there is SSCJ. These are all government jobs. Okay. So if I consider all the government jobs together, like IES, SSCJ, as well as next, let me consider state level jobs. State level Public Service Commission. Okay. These jobs all together, I am taking conservative approach of around 1,000 number of employment is generated every year for engineers, graduate engineers, okay, fresh engineers. Then if I put PSUs in addition, so if I say PSUs again, now the PSUs recruitment has reduced a bit because they are thinking about disinvestment and all those things. There are a lot of things which is there. So I will consider only 200. So what is the government? If you go for only government job, then there's 1,000, 1,200 almost. That is the range I am guessing. Although this may vary, it may go till say 600 or it may come down to 100. This may vary, another 20% here and there, it may vary. Okay, this is the estimate. Okay, so 1,000 and 200. So 1,200 jobs in government sector. Next, let us see about some of the private sector companies. If you consider private sector companies, okay, let us consider the private sector. Okay, if you consider the private sector, what are the scope for private sector? First is, say, automobiles. What are the things which are there? Automobiles, I will say. Okay, automobile sector. Automobile sector, when I say, there are number of companies and every companies need something called graduate engineering trainee. Okay, that is the entry level job every company has, whether it is Tata, Mahindra, TVS, Maruti, Hero, Ashok Leyland, Eicher, Force Motors, Bajaj, Hyundai, Renault. Like there's a lot of companies, automobile companies, Ashok Leyland, correct? So all these are number of companies are there. Okay, if I consider on an average, each company recruits around 50 engineers all over India, which is a conservative estimate, and there are only 20 such kind of automobile companies which takes 50 mechanical engineers into them, because there are number of this one which may take 10, 15 like that. Okay, together let me say these are all estimates, students. 1,000 jobs. Okay, 1,000, and these are good paying jobs, not the ordinary jobs. Next, let us take the iron and steel. Even in iron and steel sector, there are a lot of private players. I am not taking PSU, students. I am taking only private sector. Now, when I say iron and steel, when I consider iron and steel, I am considering things like forging and all the extra manufacturing companies which are there, okay, which produces iron components, iron and steel components, okay. And let me include some of the metal companies also, like you may say automobile, aluminium, or brass and bronze, all the allied companies, okay. That if I take consideration, I will take conservative approach of 1,000 employments or 1,000 graduate engineering training. Then you have energy sector. When I say energy sector, okay, I will include petroleum also into it, okay. You may have some power plants which are there. There are a number of industry which has allied power plants, okay. So all these things, if I consider petroleum, Reliance Petroleum, or Crane India, like that, lot of private sector, if I consider, I will consider another 1,000 jobs, okay. Then there are mechanical engineering software jobs. Now when I say software job, because you have done CATIA or ProE or your these softwares, mechanical softwares you have studied, design softwares you have studied, and because of that you are getting job. So here there are numerous jobs, but if I consider the high paying job, that is 40 to 50,000 high paying job, there are around 1,000 job I am putting it, okay. I am just putting it because that much jobs are there all over India, okay. So if you consider high paying job 40 to 50,000, okay, I will say around say 1,000, and then we have around 5,000 here we have, right. 5,000 job, high paying jobs are there, okay, for a fresh mechanical engineers, okay. And this is a conservative approach, so 5,000 are there. Now the demand is around, the supply is around 70,000. Observe that, okay. Now what are the other sectors which are there, okay, which are high paying? One more things which is there is marine sector, marine engineering. They get high paying job, but I don't consider this because some people don't want to go outside. Okay, but still, if you want to go outside, this also job is there. Around 400 to 500 marine engineering, I'm putting it. Okay, I may be wrong. It's my conservative estimate. I'm not sure how many are there. Okay, so around 400 to 500 marine engineers will go. So almost, if I say every other thing, so I'll say others. Okay, oh, let it be. Okay, so let it be around 5,000 to 6,000 jobs are there for a mechanical engineer high paying job. Okay, which is minimum of 40 to 50,000. Now the people who don't get it or have to plan their career, they generally go for higher studies. So if I consider higher studies, in case of higher studies, and one of the main thing I want to consider is students are staying in India. I'm not taking abroad jobs. Okay, I am taking only the students who want to, or the graduates who want to stay in India. For them, I'm telling you. Okay. Now, if you consider higher studies, one of the things is post graduations. Okay, and I am considering the post graduation seats where there is a scope of getting a job, a good job. Okay, so if I consider IITs, if you want to consider MTech in IITs, okay, MTech in IITs, okay, if I consider MTech in IITs, how many IITs are there? There are 23 IITs, and I will say on a conservative estimate, because mechanical engineer can get into civil engineering structural field, he can get into chemical, he can get into aerospace, he can get into computer science, he can get into, in addition to mechanical engineering, metallurgy, material science, design engineering, naval technology. There are various scope, various departments in in any IIT that a mechanical engineer can get into. Also mathematics. Okay, so these are all the scope which is there. So I will say, on a conservative approach, I will say there are 100 seats for mechanical engineer in engineering in MTech as well as MS. I'll take it as a conservative approach. Okay, on an average, MTech and MS. Okay, MS is a 3-year course, MTech is a 2-year course. And here one of the things what happens is government pays you that stipend of 12,400 rupees per month. So it is equivalent to job. You don't have to waste money afterwards. Okay, that is if you clear graduate aptitude test in engineering and get into IITs or NITs or any AICT recognized engineering colleges, you will get a stipend of 12,400 rupees per month, which will help you in paying your fees and taking care of your livelihood. Okay, so if I consider MTech in IITs, there are 23 IITs, and on an average, I will say 100 seats are there. Then there are 2,300 seats all over all the IITs. Then there are 31 NITs. In 31 NITs also, conservative approach, 100 seats are there in each NITs. So there are 3,100 seats in NITs. Okay. Then other government sectors, government colleges and good colleges all together, all the private universities who are very good. Just like to name a few, you can say VJIT in Bombay, or say Nirma Institute, or maybe PSG Coimbatore, Vellore Institute of Technology, or maybe IIST, Triple ITDM, okay, and such kind of Ivy League colleges, good colleges, okay, or some of there are a lot of opportunities to do masters, right? So all those small institutes, if I take into consideration, I will take around 5,000. Small means smaller than IITs. That's what I consider. There are a lot of scope students, like Indian Institute of Space Technology is there in Thiruvananthapuram. Then there is Triple ITDM, Indian Institute of Information Technology, Design and Manufacturing. Okay, like these are various institutes plus other private colleges. I'll take together. There are around 5,000 seats. This is my estimate. So altogether we have 10,400 seats for post-graduation. And let me tell you, students, when you do your post-graduation, scope of getting into these industries is very huge. So what happened? We have 5,000. Initially, we had 5,000 high-paying jobs. There is 10,400. We had the seats available for post-graduation. So here what happens? You get around 15,000 high-paying. Next, let us take MBAs. If I take MBAs in various colleges all over India, if I take MBAs, now you may take around 1,000 MBAs, good MBAs to be considered, 1000 seats are there. So that will come to around say 16,400 seats together plus 1000. Okay, so these are very huge opportunities which are there, first of all. Next, what about other private sectors? Okay, where you don't get 40 to 50,000 pay, but you will get a lesser pay. Let us see that. What I have done is I have gone for mechanical engineering BE jobs, okay, with 0 years of experience in Naukri.com, which is one of the biggest job search engines. So here, if I see, I got 7,710 vacancies. It's not vacancies, it is number of jobs which are there. In each company, the numbers may change. So if I see here, observe the salary here, students. Okay, 0 to 3 lakh, there are 6,469 vacancies. 3 to 6 lakh, 5,230 vacancies. 6 to 10 lakh, 1,229 vacancies. 10 to 15 lakh, 212 vacancies. Now, if you observe, the numbers are huge. Correct? The numbers are there. Correct? Another side which I have not considered is our software companies. If you consider software companies like Infosys, Wipro, TCS, these also require mechanical engineers, not just CS engineers. They recruit even mechanical engineers. So what you have to do, you have to learn some software, some basic softwares, and there is a huge scope even in software industry. This is the main advantage of being a mechanical engineer. You can get a core mechanical engineering job, or you can get software services jobs. Both is possible. So now when you consider that, I think that the demand is much higher than supply. When you consider all these things, and also the petty jobs, every jobs you consider, 10,000, 15,000 jobs. Now, if you consider that, the demand is much higher than the supply. But still, we are seeing students not getting jobs. Students are saying, sir, no job, sir. We did not get the job. Why is that which is happening? This is happening because we have lost the foundation. We ignore the basics. That is the main reason why we are not getting the jobs. We are not becoming employable. We are not being employable. Although there are jobs, employability is taking a hit. Why is that employability is the taking hit, and what should we do for that? First of all, number of engineering colleges, what they have done is, for selection, they think English and communication. English and communication is the only thing required. So what did they do? They ignored the basic engineering. No doubt, English and communication is very much required. It is the major thing which has to be there. But it is an added thing. It cannot replace your engineering knowledge. Just because you can solve some aptitude question, it is not a replacement for your engineering knowledge. That has to be understood. So what is there is, what are the basics of engineering? Like mechanics, or say thermodynamics, okay, which are basics, fluid mechanics. Now what is happening is, I have interacted with lot of employers, and they say that students lack these basic knowledge. They cannot write the free body diagram of a machine component. They do not know how to employ this simple condition. They don't know Pascal's law. A person wants to go to pneumatics and hydraulics industry, he has to know how the Pascal's law works. So what is happening is, in my opinion, the main thing is that we are losing the basics. And then what we do? We go for things like ANSYS, okay, CATIA, very much required. I am not saying these softwares are not required. It is required. Okay, if you don't learn this software, your employability will take a hit. But this should be on the foundation of your engineering. This should be on basic knowledge. Only on basic knowledge edifies. Okay, basic knowledge. These additional skills will stay. These skills will not stay if you don't have the basic knowledge. What are the basic knowledge? For example, a person does a ANSYS course in one of the software training institute. And what he does, he learns the tools. What does he do? He learns the tool, how to apply things, how to get the stresses and all those things. And he writes nice pictures of von Mises stresses. Okay, he takes a machine component and takes a stress analysis and puts a nice picture of von Mises stresses. Now ask that engineer, what is von Mises stresses? And most of the engineers will not know what is von Mises stresses. Correct? So this is the lacuna. Another thing, if you ask differential equation, a lot of students will not be able, not be in a position to solve differential equations. So when you have not become a good engineer only, how can you expect an engineering job? That is the main problem today. A student is not becoming a good engineer. If he is not becoming a good engineer, don't expect a good engineering job. And another problem which has happened is, we have gone towards exam mode. We see about exams. We have 90%, 9 CGPA, 9.5 CGPA. This is what is in our mind. And we think scoring good marks is enough. No, it is not enough. It is required, I do agree. If you have 9.5 CGPA, fantastic, great job, well done. But do you have the basic knowledge? If you ask something from the basics, do you know that? That is the question. And most of the people I have seen, students who have got ranks in universities, sometimes lack basic knowledge or the basic aptitude. Okay, so it is very much required that we score marks, but in addition to marks, because scoring marks is a skill. I have seen some of the students who have, say, moderate marks, say 7 CGPA or say 8 CGPA. Okay, but when you ask them the basic question, they are fantastic. Their basic knowledge of mechanical engineers is fantastic. Okay, and such engineers will get a job. The person whose basic knowledge is good surely will get a job. So that is what is required. We have to go with the basic knowledge. Okay. Now, next point. How to plan for a fruitful career? What should we do? If a mechanical engineer wants to go ahead in engineering, what is that? What he lacks more? One of the things what mechanical engineer is lacking is programming. Programming skills. Now you will say, sir, I am not interested in computer science. What I need is mechanical engineering job, sir. I don't want to learn programming skills. Don't have that rigidity with you. All the mechanical engineering jobs require programming skills. Whether it is a CNC machine, whether it is you're doing on FEM, finite element methods, or you have CFD. Okay. Although you are using tools, you need to understand how programming works. Okay. Nowadays, even writing a document needs programming knowledge. Like if you go with the this one tech, okay, MIG-Tech or any tech software you use, that is your word processing software you are using, it is just like programming. So now if you don't have that programming skills, sorry students, you are outdated. First thing. Second thing is, people think that artificial intelligence, machine learning, these are only computer science jobs. No. Mechanical engineering, it's application of mechanical engineering only. Automation, robotics, these are all important, students. Okay, robotics, automation, because we are going towards automation now. And if you want to go towards this, read the skills of robotics and automation, which are first is mechanics. Very important to understand mechanics. You cannot develop a robot if you don't understand what are the forces involved in a robot. Because that is the main course or main thing about mechanical engineering. Automation, you say pick and place robot is there. You need to know how much friction has to be there. What is the force that has to be exerted. Not just that, you need to know to program. First is design of the system. That automated system you have to design. Second, you have to program that. So what is required? Basic mechanical engineering plus you need the programming language. Okay, and one of the things every mechanical engineer who is a fresher, who is graduating, he has to learn is Python. Python software, don't think that it is to get to software companies. No, even core mechanical engineering companies which wants to do automation or robotics or analysis like CFD or finite element methods or any other things. There are a number of new things which are coming, students. Okay, and everything needs programming. So Python programming is very good. It's a very basics. Okay, learn that. Take a course on that. Okay, so when you do that, your career will be fruitful. And the second thing, don't go just for a job. Don't go just for a job. Keep in mind there is a huge scope. Increase your value. Don't rush that. Don't go to say that after your engineering graduation only you have to get a job. Go for higher studies. One of the main thing what higher studies does is it gives you it makes you more mature. It makes you understand the things in hand, and you don't have to spend for higher studies in India. That is the beauty here. Okay, what you can do, you can write exam, GATE exam you can write, and then government will sponsor you for higher studies. Whether you go for MS, if you go for MS 12,400 rupees per month you get MS or MTech. Okay, or if you go, there is scope for direct PhD also. So if you go for direct PhD, government pays you around 31,000 rupees per month. Such a fantastic scope. And don't think PhD is only for teaching jobs. No, 90% of the PhDs go for the core engineering job, core research job. Today, the scenario is such that mundane jobs or the jobs which are repetitive are getting lost. They are being automated. Okay, they're gone now. Like draftsmen you have. Now you don't have draftsmen. Yes, computer engineers are there, but these are done not by an engineer. It is done by a diploma or a ITI person. Okay. So what you need now is to go for a higher studies, especially PhDs. Okay. PhD, if you get a seat, direct PhD seat in IIT, well and good. Grab it with both hands. Okay. And one of the things what will happen is you will create the future. You will create the future. So don't have a gloomy perspective or gloomy outlook. Okay, it's actually very, very bright. It is gloomy because we don't have the skills. We have not worked hard. Because we have not worked hard after our 12th or after our 12th, we have not worked hard, and we thought that if we get into good engineering college, our placement is done. No, even if you get into IIT and don't work for 4 years, you will not get a job. Okay, so it's very important that you have to continuously study. Okay, so all the best, students. If you have any doubts, please put it on the comments and kindly subscribe to my channel. And if you have any such queries which you feel I have to do some videos on, please tell me in the comments. Thank you very much.